welcome back to my channel. As promised and as highly anticipated, today I'm going to be sharing with you the look, the step-by-step tutorial on how to recreate Kim Kardashian's and Makeup by Mario's signature look that he did during the Masterclass in New York City that I had the pleasure of attending. While Kim and Mario have been keeping things slightly lightly recently, for the class they decided to go for a full Kim Kardashian signature red carpet look. Aside from sharing all the products that Mario used and walking you step by step on how to recreate it, I will be also dishing on all the tips and tricks I learned from Mario. So just get your notebooks ready, and I'm so excited to start, and I hope that you are too. Mario always starts by priming Kim's face with Kiehl's Ultra Facial Moisturizer. I actually got a sample the other day, so I'm gonna use it. He likes to apply it with a damp sponge. What he likes about this moisturizer is that it's very emollient, so it's very hydrating and it sticks really well with the foundation. It acts like a nice base for makeup. He actually doesn't use primers at all. He doesn't have anything against the primers, but he just kind of likes using just the moisturizer. He thinks that primers create extra barrier between the skin and the foundation, so he prefers just using the moisturizer. It works for him. We'll also apply a little bit of eye cream just to make this area smooth and well moisturized as well. And I'm following with just a lip balm to keep my lips moisturized. He did use a bit lip balm on Kim as well. Once the skin is prepped, he goes onto the eyebrows. So no, makeup doesn't start with the foundation always. He feels that when he starts with the eyebrows, the overall look is more clean. So he prefers to start with the eyebrows to frame the entire eye area. So actually, this is a good tip. Mario really emphasized on keeping the eyebrows very soft, feminine and natural. He's very against on what's happening on Instagram right now, where the brows are just too much, they are too overly drawn, they are very sharp and they are very aggressive. So he feels like it gives the masculine look to the face. So it's better, you're better off keeping it very soft and very feminine as opposed to overdrawing them. So he starts with using the brow pencil, and he uses the Anastasia Brow Wiz in soft brown. That's actually the one that I use all the time as well. And he advises putting the most of the product starting at the outer corners. This is where the biggest amount of pigment should be, and keeping the pigment very little, almost to minimum at the very beginning of your eyebrows. So start with the very small strokes at the very corner, filling everything in very gently. Do very small movements, brush it through. It's a process. Like everything he's doing, it's such a huge process. He really does take his time. Be very gentle, you add very little and then you build the look. So very little pressure, keep it very soft and very natural. Once you go to the closest to your eye, use even softer pressure and just lightly touch the beginning of your eyebrows, and you really want to brush it through. Like you can already notice how my eyebrows are getting the shape, but they are still very natural, and that's the key. Once he fills the eyebrows with the pencil, he likes to top it off with a powder product, and he used Wizard eyeshadow palette in natural mattes. It's a very nice palette actually for all the makeup artists, all the people out there. Actually, I kind of regretted I didn't buy it, but it has all the mattes, all the great colors. You can basically create every look with it. And what's great about this palette is that you can use it both on the eyebrows and on the eyes, and also for contouring. So it's very multi-functional, and I'm gonna link it below as with everything that Mario specifically used, so you can have a reference. But I'm going to be using Anastasia Brow Powder Enduro just at the very corners to set it out. He likes setting everything out with a powder, so he likes layering products, so that's why he always uses the powder even on the eyebrows following the pencil. Again, very light movement, just setting everything off. Everything with Mario starts with the eyes and ends with the eyes. It helps to create the overall look, it gives him the guidance. In this way you can basically change the intensity of the eyes as you go with the makeup. So start with the eyes, build it up, then go to the face, then go back to the eyes to balance the entire look. So we're going to be priming the lid with Laura Mercier's Secret Camouflage Concealer. This is the one he used. He used in color SC4 and 5. Since I have lighter complexion than Kim, mine is in color number 2. And I'm just going to be using my MAC brush and apply this color on my entire eyelid area. While he's doing it, he also likes to cut off and clean the eyebrows underneath to define them even more. I actually like using this Secret Camouflage Concealer for my eyebrows because it cancels out all the redness on the lid. And he likes to blend the concealer with a damp beauty blender. This one, the Twirl design, actually was in the goodie bag, so how cute is that? His secret to the staying power of the eyeshadow throughout the entire day and night, and Kim said she can even sleep with the makeup for 3 days and then it's gonna last, is setting it with a setting powder. And he used Laura Mercier translucent powder and just a bigger fluffy brush to set everything up, tap off the excess, and very gently set the entire eye area up to the brow bone. This will also prevent the eyeshadow from creasing, so both prolonging the makeup and preventing it from creasing. Another great tip from Mario to make sure that your makeup, your eye makeup is gonna stay all day, is that he always starts by using a cream eyeshadow and then he puts powder on top of the cream eyeshadow. He also likes to use the cream eyeshadow first because he likes the kind of texture it creates and it helps building the intensity. So it's 2-in-1 again, making sure the eye makeup is gonna stay very long and also providing a nice texture to your eye. He used Tom Ford cream eyeshadow in color Spice. It was a very bronzy amber color. And now I'm gonna be using Charlotte Tilbury in Bette. It's also a cream eyeshadow and it's very similar to Tom Ford's one. It also has this beautiful bronzy, coppery bronze kind of feel. So it's very similar. It's a good alternative and cheaper. Again, very little. If there's anything I learned from Mario that's gonna help me years forward, is that you really start small and you start with very little of product. Tiniest amount, and then you keep building it. He likes to take it on the brush, put the excess on his hand, and then whatever is left on the brush, he starts applying on Kim's eyelids. It has to be a very, very sheer layer. And then blend whatever is left, blend the edges. And what's really important about this look that I have to stress is that he's going for that signature Kim K eye look, which means it is a blown out look. So there are no harsh lines, harsh edges, everything is mixed together. After using the shadow, he likes to go with the stick eyeshadow, and this one is from Laura Mercier in color Sand Glow, and he likes to apply it just along the lashes for that extra texture, extra dimension as well. This one was in the goodie bag as well, so it was a very good goodie bag. For the colors in Kim's crease and upper lid, Mario used the same palette he used for the eyebrows, which is the Viseart Neutral Mattes palette, and he mixed basically medium brown colors from the palette. So basically everything in matte brown medium family will work for you. So I'm going to be using my MAC Pro palette and I'm going to be mixing a few of Matte's colors here. He always mixes different colors together before applying anything on Kim's lid. And he actually doesn't use like a big fluffy blending brushes for that. He prefers flat, the Stila one. I'm going to list it below. But I'm going to be using my blending brush. I really like this. But the key is the mixing of the products, putting it on the hand, and then applying basically the tiniest, I'm going to stress the tiniest amount of whatever is left. So there's almost nothing here. You start really, really small. I can't stress it enough. This is like the #1 tip from him. You start small and tiny little bit of product. And also tiny little bit of pressure. And you start blending. And now I'm gonna use a clean brush and I'm gonna blend those edges. We don't want any edges, so you keep blending and blending and blending, and I feel like you cannot blend enough. That's the key. So you see, I'm really taking this color up to my brow bone with a clean blending brush. We want that very diffused effect. You see how it starts to be like very blown out, and this is what we want. After he finished blending with the browns from the Vizy Art palette, he went on to the Modern Renaissance palette, Anastasia one, and he used the color Burnt Orange and Red Ochre. Very tiny wash of those two mixed colors on the lid. So I was very surprised how many layers of color of eyeshadow he kept applying on Kim, but it still looked so sheer and very washed out and gentle. So it's all about this, the amount of pressure you put on the brush. Again, blend it on the hand, the tiniest amount. Next, he used color Violetta from, of course, the Master Palette by Mario, by Anastasia. I know it's sold out, it was a limited edition, but I'm sure a few of you still have it. So there was a lot of blending, a lot of eyeshadows happening, for sure. Just keep adding. That's the color that he used on Kim's crease to intensify her crease a little bit. And lastly, he used the color Muse, obviously inspired by Kim. She is his muse. He used this color as a wash of color for the entire lid. This color actually reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury one from the Dolce Vita palette. So you can try this one if you have it. Super sheer wash, entire lid. So you can see like how nicely the Caviar stick is showing off here. So I think this is what Mario had in mind when talking about that texture. To highlight the under eye area, he first used a contouring stick from KKW Beauty, of course. Cream contour stick. I have it because it was in the goodie bag as well, so I'm excited to try it. It's gonna be my first time trying it. So let's open this baby out. It comes like this. Very sterile. I really love the color of the packaging. It's so cute. Nudes, pink, kind of pinkish nudes. So this one is in color medium, and I want to use the highlight part. So it comes like with a dual-ended brush. And on one side you have the matte highlight, and on the other one you have shimmer. So he used the matte highlight underneath her brow bone. So far so good. It feels very soft. So I'm just gonna blend it with the fingers. And on top of that, he used the color Vermeer and Primavera from the Modern Renaissance palette. And actually he kind of applies the shimmer down to the end of the eyebrow. So that was kind of surprising for me. I usually only put it at the arch, but he took it all the way, almost like all the way down. Alright, so now we're going to the very interesting step, which is lining the eye with the eyeliners. And by interesting I mean is that Mario uses at least 3 or 4 eyeliners to create a perfect eyeliner look. So he starts with a brown eyeliner pencil, very close to the lashes. He fills everything in, super thin, slightly thicker at the corners. And then he follows with a black liner on top of that, and then he kind of blurs, smudges the edges, and then he follows with a liquid eyeliner. So by doing the 3 layers of the eyeliner, he makes sure he gets that very strong and dramatic black liner look. Okay, so he starts by using Charlotte Tilbury's eyeliner pencil in color Barbara Brown. It's a deep brown color. You can tell I love using it too because it's so tiny already, but I have it. So he starts by lining Kim's lash line very close with this pencil. You really don't want to have any space, any white space in between your lashes and the inside of your eye. So then he uses the Sigma E21 brush. I have it as well. It's a small smudging brush, and he blends it he blends the top layer actually of this eyeliner. And then he follows with Urban Decay 24-hour eye pencil. It's the one I use constantly as well, so it's tiny as well. And he basically just frames the eyes with it, and he does the tight lining, which is putting the black on the upper waterline. And really take your time to put the pigment, the color, in between little lashes. And now take the smudging brush again and smudge out the top portion of the liner. It takes a village. Alright, so as the last layer, he likes to use MAC liquid eyeliner in Boot Black. What he likes about this eyeliner specifically is that it dries matte. He uses a pointing brush that he bought from the art store, so it's a very, very thin pointing brush. And with this liner, he also slightly wings out the corners, but it's not a wing, it's just kind of, he slightly lifts it up. Hopefully my liner will be Makeup by Mario approved. And now I'm just gonna do the black line on my waterline to kind of connect everything. So this is the point at which Mario stops working on the eyes. He's gonna of course come back to the eyes later, and he starts working on the face now. He starts by putting a concealer underneath the eyes, and he started obviously with Laura Mercier. The reason I said obviously is that he's a spokesperson of Laura Mercier, and he is doing a lot of stuff for them, so that's probably why he chose that. But he uses the peachier side of the concealer right under where you see the discoloration, and then he's following with Radiant Creamy Concealers from NARS. He uses two colors in the color Honey, which I have as well, again underneath, right underneath where you see the discoloration, and then he mixes that with ginger. Obviously I'm not going to be using the color ginger because it's going to be too dark for me, but I'm going to be using color Cream Bruelle. But I'm going to start with the Honey because it has a very nice peach undertones, and peach really cancels out any redness and discoloration. And then for the rest, I'm going to use the lighter one. You go all the way down and then up, and then you just take a damp beauty blender and you start blending. For the foundation, he used Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wear Foundation. I really like trying different foundations, so I'm very curious how this one works. And first, he likes to distribute the foundation not with the beauty blender but with the IT Cosmetics brush, and then he likes to blend with the beauty blender. And obviously don't forget to put the foundation on your neck or anywhere where the skin is showing. You want that really smooth transition all over, and then just go with the beauty blender. So continue blending and blending. Mario really took a long time to blend and blend, to blend everything out, so keep patting, keep beating yourself for at least 2 minutes. But I must say I'm very surprised with the way my skin looks now, and I really think that this moisturizer makes a huge difference. Like, I swear my face, my foundation on my face has never looked like this before. So the key is to really moisturize your face prior to makeup application. And I think I'm gonna buy the Kiehl's moisturizer after this tutorial. Alright, so then he went to contouring, and obviously he was contouring first with cream from the KKW collection, the medium one, and it also comes with two colors, the deeper one and the slightly darker one. So he recommends using the deeper one on the hollows of your cheeks, along the hairline, and use the lighter one along your nose, because you want your nose to be a little bit lighter in terms of contouring than the rest of the face. And he had a nice flat brush similar to this one, kind of blend the contours. So he didn't use the brush from the collection, from the kit. This is my first time using it, so I'm excited. Just put a little bit. I actually really like this contour. It's very natural, it blends so well. Like, he put only tiny amount and just blend with this brush. So the contouring sticks are slightly on the very natural side, which I understand because Kim is marketing the products to everyday, basically women that don't have time and that want to look natural, go to work. So it's not like crazy deep, strong cream color. It's very subtle, actually, very natural. And don't forget to put also the contour color underneath your chin. And Mario actually took the contour color, put it on the brush, and he went all the way down the neck. And now I'm gonna go with the lighter side and I'm gonna slightly contour my nose with it. Mario is actually a big fan of very natural contour of your nose. So when you meet someone in person, you really don't want that lines showing off. And he used this brush. I was actually waiting with doing my tutorial because it took a time for it to arrive. So it's an old Bare Minerals brush and it's called Light Stroke. You can order it on Amazon, it's still available. So he uses this brush to smudge the contour. As with everything, he really took his time. So now put it along the bridge of my nose to brighten it up. And also a little bit underneath my eyes. To set everything up, Mario used Laura Mercier translucent powder. You really want to put that product in for that long-lasting staying power. And of course, Mario did a lot of baking underneath Kim's eyes. He actually did the baking before he applied the foundation. For me, naturally, it's better to put the foundation on, set it with the powder, and then do the baking, but just so you know. So for the baking, he used the Laura Mercier powder as well. And with the damp beauty blender, he applied quite a bit, a thick amount of powder right underneath Kim's eyes. Oh, you see what kind of difference it already makes? It already brightens it up so much. If your skin is slightly more mature now, I would advise, and he also advised not to use this technique because it kind of brings your lines a little bit more. So you have to have a baby soft skin like Kim to kind of use it. Okay, while it's baking, I'm gonna go ahead and use Tiny Puff from MAC Cosmetics to set the foundation again. This is Mario also used a lot of puff. The reason for that is that we really want this makeup to stay for ages. That kind of movement to go over your entire face. Okay, I think that's enough for the baking. So just take the fluffy brush and swipe the excess off. Further intensified the contouring he did on Kim. He used, of course, Kim K W Beauty Powder Contour Kit, which I don't have. But we did receive the Hola Benefit Bronzer in the goodie bags, and I think he used that a lot in his previous master classes, so it's Mario approved, so you can use that. Tapping off the excess. So I'm gonna be putting it on the peripheries of my face. It's kind of like pressing. Since Mario prefers a lighter color to contour your nose, I'm gonna switch to Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronzer. Take your time again with blending it out, making sure there are no harsh lines at all. Alright, so if baking wasn't enough, Mario used another powder underneath Kim's eyes. This time it was Natasha Denona's Invisible HD Face Powder. And the reason he used this powder is that it has slightly pinkish undertones. So he really liked how it brings out the highlight more. Since I don't have this one and it's kind of pricey, I'm gonna be using the one from RCMA. It's white, so it really brings out the highlight. It photographs so well too, so it's a must-have for your makeup bag. For the blush, he used Milani Baked Blush in color Luminoso. I'm sure a lot of you have it. It has a nice peach color, so it really looks so beautiful on the face. For the highlight, Mario again used KW Beauty Powder Highlight. Since I don't have it, I'm gonna go back to my Charlotte Tilbury's palette and I'm gonna use this highlight right here. If you want more intensity, you can always wet your brush and it's gonna give you more intensity. Run it a little bit through your bridge of your nose. Alright, Now is the time when I'm going back to my eyes, and Mario did as well. So I'm gonna apply eyeshadow on the lower part of my eyelid, kind of the same combination I used, and you want to connect it with the upper lid. So once you blend everything out, go over the waterline, drag it down, slightly drag it down, and put it into your lashes. Now I'm going to take the same smudging brush and smudge it out a little. And now I'm going to be using, for the inner corners, the same colors, Vermeer and Primavera. And you can spray a tiny bit of MAC Fix and Mist to wet it to intensify the shimmer. Kim really likes that kind of champagne gold shimmer in her inner corners. Okay, now time for the lashes finally. So he used L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Carbon Black. I use it a lot also, but recently I've been using Camouflage Volumizing Mascara, and this is the one that I have open, so I'm just gonna use this one. Mario uses the tiny little thing to separate all the lashes. I don't have it, but just so you know. And for the bottom lashes, he likes to use again the sponge to protect the eyeshadow. Another cool pro tip. And for the lashes, most of the time, from every makeup masterclass that he did, he uses individuals. They are the ones, individual lashes. These are the lashes I'm going to be using as well. But for this class, he used Battington lashes, Demi 3D Silk lashes. These were like 3/4 lashes. And again, probably the reason for that was that Battington was one of the sponsors of the event. So I'm starting in the middle. I'm gonna make my way out. Just keep applying and applying until you reach the intensity and density you want. Okay, so the last thing would be the lips. And Mario used actually 2 lip liners, I believe, or even 3, but the first one that he started, remember, it's all about layering, but the first one that he started using was MAC in color Spice. I actually want to MAC and I really wanted to buy it, but for my skin tone it was kind of too deep, so I'm going to do my own nude color with Charlotte Tilbury's lip cheat liner and Pillow Talk. It actually looks similar to the Spice color, but it's 2 shades lighter, so I figured that's gonna work for me. And then Mario used Caviar Equine Naked Lip Pencil, but I'm gonna be using MAC Strip Down to further define my lips, and I'm gonna keep it at the corners because this is slightly darker shade and it's like a nice contouring for your lips. Blend those 2 liners together so there is no transition happening. Okay, so for Mario there is no such thing as a perfect nude lipstick, so he mixed a few shades from his Pro palette. For me there is, and I keep coming back to this nude, keep using this nude all the time, and for me it's Charlotte Tilbury's lipstick in Penelope Pink. I really like this color, and I think that it matches so many skin tones. I use it all the time for like my clients, for weddings, so I'm gonna be using this one. I'm sure he has a lot of Charlotte Tilbury's going on though. Like Nude Kate is also a good one, it's slightly lighter. And he topped it off with a lipstick from, I believe it was Stuart Beauty. I don't have it, so I'm going to be using Dose of Colors Undressed Lipstick. We kind of need that gloss because obviously Kim is photographed many times throughout the day on the red carpet, so the gloss very nicely reflects the light, makes your teeth look whiter, and it just completes the entire look. It's a very beautiful lip gloss. And last but not least, Mario sets everything up with Tatcha's Luminous Mist. I'm going to be using MAC Prep and Prime instead. It blends nicely makeup, it refreshes it. Okay, and there's one last trick that Mario uses on Kim to achieve the dewiness of the skin and dewiness of the highlight. And I'm gonna share it with you, of course. And Mario likes using Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream on top of the highlight because it really intensifies the highlight and it creates that super expensive glow, as he calls it, that glow from within. It has like a Vaseline texture, see? And it creates that luminosity. And voila! This is the Kim Kardashian signature makeup look. Wow! I'm really loving it. It's very glamorous, very tasteful, very classy. You just can't go wrong with it wherever you go. So I'm sure I'm going to be using it a lot and incorporating a lot from it on my clients. Obviously, I'm going to link all the products that I used and all the products that Mario used below in the description bar below. They're going to be also listed on my blog, so whatever works, whichever links work for you. I'm definitely not encouraging you to go and buy every single product. I didn't buy it either. I used a lot of dupes. So you just get to choose whatever works for you and whatever you already have in your makeup kit. And also, if you're curious of what it's like to be part of his class, I did a separate tutorial on this as well. If you're new to my channel, you might not know that. So I'm going to be linking it down below as well. And to be completely honest, it really took me 4 hours, 5 hours, the same amount of time I was sitting at Mario's class to complete the step-by-step tutorial to complete this look. So please give it a thumbs up as a support. I was sitting here doing this, sharing everything with you and for you. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. It was quite a long tutorial, so I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I see you in my next video. Bye! Oh, the motor. So after Barbara Brown Barbarella. Okay. Work. It should be smudge. So okay, so that was it.